What's going on, guys? It's your boy JC Nerdy Treasures coming at you, and I am not flying solo, but I will be joined shortly. Today we are talking fantasy football. This is our fantasy football roundup. If you don't know, I try to do one of these each week on Tuesday at 6:30. I apologize, I'm a little late. There was really high traffic in my area today, so I'm here though. Let me see if anybody. I know that this is sometimes wonky, so I'm going to pull up my pop-out chat just in case. Sean Ryan is going to be joining us here shortly. He is actually walking Kazi right now, so if you guys don't know Kazi and Sean Ryan, you need to check out his channel. But I'm pretty sure all of you know who that is. So we got a couple of lives tonight, so let me go to mine. There we go. Probably gonna get it. What's going on, Robert? How are you doing, sir? All right, I just popped out the chat. All right, so I got 5 people in here. I want to go ahead and say hello to everybody. And I completely understand Brian. Brian's not able to make it with us tonight. He is normally my co-host for the evening, but tonight we will have a special guest joining us. Mr. Sean Ryan will be joining us soon. Hopefully he is out walking Kazi. Michael David, hello. Welcome to the stream. So let me just jump in and say, God, this was a horrible week for fantasy football. This was like horrible for anybody that had a big name star. There were so many injuries. There were so many inconsistent players. And this was a bad week. If you were a fantasy football player and this was just not your week, I promise you. I know Brian right there lost 2 freaking quarterbacks. What's going on, Poppin' in? Brian lost 2 quarterbacks against me. That's how I won, to be honest. And he also lost probably his best wide receiver. And now he's trading his other great wide receiver to me. We'll get into that in just a few. But I just want to say that it's been a crappy week if you're a fantasy football person. So, we had the Ben Roethlisberger. He's going to have elbow surgery, and he's going to be out for the season. Drew Brees is looking like he's going to be out for 6 weeks because of his hand. He's checking muscle cramps and everything every day. Just horrible injuries, like big name injuries. So, yeah, Eagles wide receivers were getting hurt left and right, which I will address in just a minute. I know Brian had Alshon Jeffrey, which is another reason I got the win this week. So I'm excited about that. I am 2-0, so I'm happy. And Yahoo did rank me last when I did my draft, so I'm a little bit better. Nick Adams, hello, welcome to the chat. So I'm a little bit happier about this. Yeah, and Breeze and Alshon killed you, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into our weekly. What's up, John Brooks? How you doing, man? You only lost by 20. You're right, but that really saved me. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into our weekly what happened this week. Let me pull this up. I'll pull up this. All right, so I don't know what that did on here. All right, you can see that. All right, so this week was crazy, guys. I'm. What's up, Peanut Butter? How you doing, man? What's going on, John Brooks? I appreciate you hitting that like. I don't know why it just opened that. Don't do that. Weirdo. All right. But the Raiders did lose to the Chiefs. You're right. The Raiders did lose, so there's that. I mean, Sean Ryan, where are you at, man? You're here. I'm waiting for you in here. I sent it to the Hangouts chat that me, you, and Brian and Pop Couple have. So, I don't know why. Anyway, we had Darth Raider, which is myself, beating Balls Mahoney, which is Brian, 132 to 109. I got a grade A on that one. I was happy about that. The Luau, who I was surprised lost this week to Funko Nerd Start. Grumpy beat Peyton's Pop Planet. Barely. I mean, all these were really close games. Literally, they said mine and Brian's game was the blowout of the week, which I didn't understand one bit. Sean Ryan, Goku Farted, almost won this one. What's going on, Smitty Rock? What's happening? Sean Ryan almost won this one. If Le'Veon would have fumbled one more time, Sean Ryan would have picked up his first win. But right now he is scoreless, or he is 0-2. Two Peas in a Pop picked up their win against 0-2 Pop Couple James. It's been a rough week for a lot of football fans. It started on Thursday and just didn't get any better. Like, Thursday's game was crap for me because I had several of the players. I had I'm trying to remember who was Thursday's game. It was Tampa Bay versus Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, I had him in a couple of my leagues, and he didn't do squat. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get into the games. I'm waiting on Sean Ryan to pop in, so let's get into the game. So, first game was me versus Balls Mahoney, which is Brian. Let's go ahead and open that up a little bit more. So Brian had Drew Brees. Unfortunately, like I said, his team was plagued by injuries. Otherwise, he would probably came out on top. He had Drew Brees, who gave him 0.52 points because he ended up with his hand hurting by slapping by Aaron Donald. That was kind of bad. I had Lamar Jackson, who is one of the leading passing touchdown quarterbacks of our league, of the NFL right now, and I'm happy I have him. I'm actually trading the other one away to Brian because I really did feel bad that he lost both his quarterbacks in this one, and I really need another wide receiver because if you can't see my wide receivers, it was pretty bad. So I'm getting Adam Thielen. What's up, Alexander Perez? How you doing? Man, they keep saying Cam Newton ain't hurt. He ain't hurt. Bullcrap. If he wasn't hurt, he would have been running. So, yeah, whatever. So, I did have Zach Ertz, which because Alshon Jeffrey got hurt and Deshaun Jackson got hurt, Ertz picked up the slack in the receiving. Mercy is for the weak. Yes, it is. That is true. So I'm trying to. I can't see that down there. I'm gonna pull it up like this. How about that? So Kenny Golladay got me the most receiving points out of my team, so I was extremely happy about that. And if you're talking to me, I cannot see you in the chat. I apologize. Let's see, who else did we get? He really couldn't have done anything else because his tight end was Olsen and Kelsey got more than him in that. I could have I think I did the best out of my league too, or on my team too. So we both evened out on that one. The next game, let's go to the next game. The next game was the Luau versus Funko Nerd Stark. Funko Nerd Stark had 129 to 119. Funko Nerd Stark had Tom Brady throwing against a Miami defense, which was really not fair. He should have got way more points, but I know the whole scenario with Bill Belichick and Flores are really good close friends, and they're really close. Flores learned from Belichick, so he didn't want to embarrass him. So that's probably why it was only 43. Plus, Antonio Brown was catching everything. He wasn't throwing to hardly anybody else besides Antonio Brown. My prediction from last week was correct, though. I will say about the New England game, my prediction was very correct when I said that Josh Gordon would be held 10 points under what Jason White was. And it turned out true. Josh Gordon got 2, and Jason White, I believe, got 12. So y'all can hate on me for that one. Obviously, Luau went with Patrick Mahomes, who blew it up for him. Odell Beckham Jr. did really good in last night's game. Michael Gallup left on an injury. Once again, injury is plaguing another team. Leonard Fournette, I've never considered him a big back, but he is right there doing it. So I think that – hold on just a second. I think that he did a really good job with 10 points right there. Mark Ingram is just the back – or not the backup, but the third down back, so 8 points is to expected. And then this is how they got blown away. He had Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook has the most yards for a running back in the NFL right now. So there's Sean.
Hello.
What's up, Sean?
Why you got to go live when I told you I was going to be late?
Well, I told you I was going live. So
can't wait on your
game here, and we could see this. We'll look at your game next. How about that?
Well, you take your time. I'd just like to point out that I would be waiting still if it were any other week for JC.
It would probably. I'm working on my inconsistencies, but I'm working on them.
Yeah, I just had something come up.
Sean Ryan faced Tim from Sometimes Pops.
Yeah, and it's not a pretty thing.
This was a toilet bowl game.
And my team's struggling.
Huh?
My team is struggling. I'm not hitting the predictions with my running backs. There's really weak games.
Yeah, you are. Johnson should be beasting it out for you. He's just not doing nothing this year.
He's on the Cardinals as part of the problem. They got a rookie quarterback. Mixon's half hurt. I mean, honestly, I lost by 0.12, so
I know.
It's 2 yards, or if Bell caught one less pass. I mean, there's a lot of ifs, but I also played one of the other low-scoring teams. So
the thing is you really couldn't – I mean, looking at your bench, you really couldn't have improved your team this week.
Nope.
You did everything that you needed to.
I tried to do 2 waiver claims when my guys got hurt last week, and both of them were picked up by other people. So I guess somehow I had lower priority.
Who was that?
One of them was Hollywood Brown, the Ravens wide receiver, and I actually don't remember. I'd have to go look at the.
I tried to get him too, but somebody else got him before me.
Oh, Cosmo, come on, dude. Sorry, he's the reason I'm late.
Oh, he could have played Drake.
What's that?
Brian said you could have played Drake.
I mean, he would have beaten it over Mixon, but
to be honest, would you have played Drake in that position anyway, going up against New England with when Joe Mixon's going up against San Francisco? I would have played Joe Mixon any day.
I mean, the only thing I really think I could have done was play Drake, like Brian said, but against New England, I wasn't expecting much. I knew Mixon was like half hurt, but he's still playing the 49ers versus New England, so yeah.
He was bad, man. I mean, I think he's still really hurt. He just tries to make sure he's not, or he's trying to pretend he's not. Just like the Cam Newton thing. I think Cam Newton's like hurt really bad. He just doesn't want to pretend like he is.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them, but Even if he is hurt, he needs to get out of there because they're 0-2 already.
But other than that, I mean, your quarterback had a decent game. Vance McDonald balled out for you.
Yeah, I mean, he's essentially one of their best targets right now because for all the talk that's going on around Juju Smith-Schuster, really that team is going to rely heavily on Vance McDonald. I think he's their biggest.
Here's the thing. Here's one of my sleeper picks for the week. If I'm able to get them, I would really like to pick up Washington from Pittsburgh because him and Mason Rudolph played at OSU together, and they were like the team at OSU. And then now that Mason's taken over and Washington's still there on the squad, I think they're going to connect a lot. And that's who he connected with the most in preseason too. So I think that's going to be a big sleeper this week.
Well, Joe, McDonald caught 2 passes from the backup last week.
I agree.
Those both touchdowns, or not 2 passes, 2 touchdowns. Both touchdowns were after Ben was out. So I think McDonald is just a big, easy target to lean on. So I'd look for a lot from him going forward.
Yes, Joe G. Ben did love the tight ends, but also if you look at any type of Oklahoma game, whether it's OSU, Tulsa, or OU, everybody depends on that tight end as well. So Vance McDonald is going to get some play with Mason Rudolph.
JJ, is Juju Smith-Schuster really – he's not taking double coverage. He's just getting the strong side safety on the zone now because Antonio Brown's not pulling the double coverage away from him. Without that other receiver, I do not think Juju is going to catch a bajillion passes.
Yeah. I think that Juju can actually do something if it was one-on-one because they're doubling him up all day because the other receivers suck.
Well, I think what's happening is they're playing more zone, so the safety is just rotating over, and it looks like double coverage on him a lot of the time when it's not. Usually that safety would have been on the other side trying to handle Antonio Brown deep.
I think he could have played Tyrell Williams out there in his – I guess it would have been about the same what he did. So he had it all out on their field as well. And that's what I meant. I didn't – okay, so Josh Gordon did get less than 10. So it was 8, but whatever. That's still bad.
Doesn't that say 2?
Huh?
Doesn't that say 2 for Gordon? 2.9?
Yeah. So last week I made the prediction Jason White would get 10 more than Josh Gordon.
You mean James White?
James White would get 10 more points than Josh Gordon. I was off a little. But 2 points, come on.
All right. They don't need to throw the ball when Miami has no defense.
Let's go to 2 peas in a pop versus James from Pop Couple. I don't know. Let me look at their bench. I mean, they both did really well. They both had really high scoring games compared to some of the other teams in our league this week.
Well, James's was pretty average. He's right around 100, right?
Yeah. And then 2 P's is 1,100 or 111.
Yeah, Julio had a big game. Otherwise, it was pretty. I would say it's pretty average performance-wise, right?
Yeah. Josh Jacob only got him 9 points, so that was kind of rough for us.
I'll tell you what, his team, Steven's team,
yes,
really good.
Yes. And I don't know what's up with Christian McCaffrey. I think it's just because that Cam's not throwing it to him this week. So
I didn't see too much of that game. Like, did Tampa Bay's defense stop them, or like what was holding Carolina back?
Yeah, Tampa Bay was stopping them left and right.
I mean, that's nuts. I saw the score and was shocked because they put up a.
He could have played Goodwin and killed it.
Well, I mean,
who Goodwin and Stephon Diggs, he would have killed it.
Yeah, but you really going to play Curtis Godwin over Stephon Diggs? I don't think so.
No. I might have played Emmanuel Sanders over Stephon Diggs.
I might have played Emmanuel Sanders over Josh Jacobs. especially against Kansas City.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
I mean, after the
that's a tough
first
one.
game, I think Sanders redeemed himself like at the end of the game with a touchdown or something. So it's hard to know if he's really going to do a whole lot on Denver.
Tampa was killing it on D, man. They did really good. I was surprised. And then James came out of nowhere and he started throwing actual accurate passes. I was like, this is a different team.
Goodness. I mean, I look at my bench against some of the stuff that's on James's bench from Pop Couple.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, how is he getting? I mean, Larry Fitzgerald, I can get 10, 12 points. I understand.
Yeah.
What's Freeman against Chicago and Rashad Penny against Pittsburgh? I would have expected them about where their projections were. Instead,
Pittsburgh's defense isn't that great this year. I mean, they have some really good players. They have a lot of holes too. So,
but Rashad Penny's not even the starting back. It's Chris Carson.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then Royce Freeman against Chicago.
And Freeman's not their starting back either.
No, he's not.
It's Lindsey. All right, moving on. We got Grumpy Skunk versus Peyton.
Oh, Peyton had the low score of the week, it looks like.
She did. She had the low score of the week with 93.
It's rough. Let's see what happens. Well, DeAndre Hopkins is part of it.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins didn't perform for her. Do you want to abandon any of your players right now, or do you still have hope in yours?
I can't really afford to. I mean, my biggest problems are that Tyreek Hill has put up like 0 points.
Like for Peyton right here, Devontae Freeman's been underperforming for the past 2 weeks. You think that she should look elsewhere? Like, do you think she should take that running back and find a new one, or?
I don't know. At this point, though, I might be willing to put it's Mac Brown, right, for Baltimore. I think I might put him up in the second back spot and then flex Freeman for somebody else. What's she got on her bench?
Let's look. She has.
Brown's had 2 decent weeks, and the Ravens' offense is clicking, so he's going to be running the ball.
Yeah, she has Montgomery, who would have picked up some points for her, but she also has Samuel. Samuel balled out on Thursday. He didn't do as well as some others, but I think, honestly, I had the highest scoring Carolina Panther. You realize that?
Who was it?
Their kicker.
Oh. Gano?
No. What is his name?
Thought it was Graham Gano, unless it's changed.
Sly.
Oh, all right.
Sly got me 16 points at a kicker spot.
Oh, that's Hollywood Brown. Sorry, JJ. Good call.
Yeah.
Go back to Peyton's team for a second. I misread that.
Well,
I thought that was the running back, not Hollywood Brown.
Malcolm from the Rams.
He's not the kicker. Thank you.
No, that's Hollywood Brown.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was a running back in that slot for some reason.
Malcolm Brown is the running back for the Rams. I think she might have him too. She has all these running backs.
Then maybe I would have played Adrian Peterson knowing that he's going to get the bulk of the carries, but I probably would have stuck with Freeman just for the fact that Atlanta's
So since you're the Washington guy, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
I have Thompson, and I'm not sure if I want to keep him. Would you keep Thompson? Is he going to get play over Adrian Peterson?
It's not that he's going to get play over Adrian Peterson, but if they can actually get their offense going the way that it was functioning last year, which is to be hard because then I have Alex Smith, and Keenum is not nearly as accurate. But Thompson catches a lot of passes out of the backfield, so he does have some strange value in these semi PPR leagues like we're playing.
So right now for me, like this week, he got a whopping 7 points.
I mean, that's going to be pretty typical. Most running backs are going to be projected from like 7 to 9 points,
and then
not the primary guy.
Like I'm about to give up on Duke Johnson as well.
Where's Duke Johnson in your lineup?
Houston, right? This guy.
I mean, he's played the Jaguars, and who did Houston play last week?
I don't know. All I know is, okay, so I made a trade. I don't know if you guys seen it or not, or we're attempting to make a trade because our last one, I don't know what happened. It got shot down. Me and Brian are talking about trading Dak Prescott, since I have Lamar Jackson, for Adam Thielen.
That trade was fine. The other trade where you tried to trade Prescott for Kareem Hunt,
yes,
the one that everyone vetoed because you're trading a top-tier quarterback for somebody who's out for the first half of the season.
Yeah, but when he comes back, he's going to be that quarterback or that running back.
Doesn't matter. That's 8 games in. I mean, you've already lost a fantasy football season by then. They're only, I mean, you got to think they're only 12 or 13 weeks long in the first place.
Yeah. I just know week 10, Brian is going to have probably the hardest to stop running back in the league.
Brian has one of the stronger teams right now. The injuries killed him for sure. So, I mean, he loses Breeze, and you want to immediately give him Prescott. Granted, he lost Big Ben too.
Yeah, he lost Big Ben and Breeze and Alshon Jeffrey, and it really hurt him.
I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for him because my team has injuries too, and I'm 0-2.
Yeah.
So.
But everybody sees me as the weakest team out there, and I'm 2-0 right now, so I'm happy about that.
I mean, if your team stays healthy and performs, you'll win games. I don't think I said you were the weakest team.
No, there's weaker teams out there.
My team's weaker right now, of course. I don't know that Peyton's team is as bad as mine is at the moment. But if David Johnson and Joe Mixon can't get their shit together, that's going to be a big issue for me.
He was the one that lost luck too, didn't he?
Yep, like hours after we drafted, Luck retired. He was like, "Oh, Brian drafted me. We're screwed."
So any Dallas fans out there, you're gonna love Brian. I'm gonna send Dak Prescott to his team, and then hours later he's gonna get hurt.
The Funko mystery bundle? You mean the Funko the mystery blind box or whatever they called it?
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
I didn't get it.
It was like $75 on Funko Shop.
I mean, I looked at that like they're $15 a piece for those pops, and they're giving you 6 of them anyway. So you're underpaying for retail, but you're only getting their overstock anyway.
I bought a damaged mystery box that should be coming in soon.
From who?
The Grail box.
Well, good luck.
I know you guys were telling me to go away, but I did it before anybody said anything. So
Brittany bought one from them too. So the mystery junk pops. I've heard that they did give out the Freddy Funko genies, which are like the metallic ones over $1,000, but still.
Yeah.
The problem with that is Funko would have sold those for $15 anyway, or given them out at Fun Days.
Yeah. They had, from what they said, they had 3 metallic genies.
It's brilliant by Funko. They get rid of all their overstock by throwing up like 5 pops to say, hey, we got this.
I'm trying to figure out where they had all these super grails. Like, do they have them just chilling at the Funko warehouse?
What Super Grails? The Fun Days Pops?
Well, like the Metallic Genie.
Oh, so it's a Freddy Funko Metallic Genie. So it's from this year's Fun Days. They had a bunch. They had a bunch of leftovers that didn't ship to San Diego in time, so they just had overstock of the Fun Days Pops.
Yeah, I got that, Brian. I got a good pop from that subscription box. It wasn't horrible. It was just good. That mystery box duel was pretty fun. We got to do some more of those.
Well, I will tell you what, Brian. I know you guys had a good pull from Ferrera Box. If you see Luau's video go up this week, look at his pull from the Ferrera Box.
Was it good or?
It's insane.
Okay.
In the warehouse on the toilet paper. Robert, from what I heard, they just they hadn't shipped out the complete Fun Days allotment, so they had some left over. I would imagine they have many more to do these again and again with. There you go. So Brian knows.
Any pops that sold out on the Funko shop wouldn't be. Well, that's not true because there's going to be Fun Day pops that sold out and that they're shipping out.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, JJ. I would assume that they hold back a certain number of Funko exclusives. So sold out just means they sold out whatever allotment they put up for sale. Doesn't mean they have none left.
Anyway, so who do you face this week?
It's a good question. I haven't even looked at it yet, nor have I checked DraftKings to see if it's auto-scheduling the things.
Let's look real quick. Let's pull this up.
Let's see if I have a chance.
Do some of our predictions because I've got like 10 minutes and then I got to get off here.
Okay.
All right. So this week.
Well, you do have him coming from Australia, JJ, so there's one captain cover. So week 3, what do we got?
I'm trying
right
to
on the right there. Yeah, hit the little. Yeah.
All right, so I'm facing Grumpy Skunk, who is 1-1. He's projected to beat me. Luau's facing Ryan. Peyton's Pop's facing James, so somebody's finally going to get a win there. You're facing 2 P's and a Pop. That's really hard.
It's going to be rough.
And then somebody's got to lose Tim versus Funko Nerd Stark.
I mean, so, I'm already 0-2 and in last place, and I've got one of the top teams.
So I've got Lamar Jackson playing against Kansas City. That's going to be a rough one for me.
I'm interested to see how many points get put up in that game.
I think that's going to be a really high-scoring game, but if some of the trades that happened during this week are supposed to happen, that could be a really rough game. Because they're talking about trading I know Jalen Ramsey was talking about either going to Oakland or Kansas City. He wants to play in Vegas. He's been seen a couple of times talk about playing for Vegas.
I don't know, JJ, because, I mean, Baltimore only put up like 20. I mean, high-scoring game, I think they'll both be around 20. I don't think anyone's going to be breaking the 30 mark in this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we thought last week would be some high-scoring games too, but this week sucked. So this one, it's going to come down to. I think it's going to come down to Sunday night.
What's the Sunday night game this week?
It looks like.
Weird to read this. I see Thursday. I don't see any Sunday night games.
Oh, I guess it's not Sunday night. What is the Sunday night game? Monday night's Washington versus Chicago.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. Seeing 3 turnovers in our future.
Sunday night I see right now is
Cleveland and the Rams.
Huh?
Cleveland and the Rams is Sunday night.
Yeah, that's the latest game I see right now. Which I have Njoku, and Njoku's going through concussion protocol after that whopping hit he took yesterday, so I'm not playing him.
I can't argue with that move.
I'll take Zach Ertz all day.
I think Grumpy actually may have an edge on you in this matchup.
I think so too. Jacksonville versus Tennessee, he's going to get more than 8 points from that one. San Francisco's got a decent run defense, but James Conner is also still coming off of an injury.
I mean, he's got 2 big volume wide receivers in Devontae Adams and Keenan Allen.
I don't see Chris Carson getting 15 against New Orleans.
Probably not. I would agree with that. Although Aaron Jones could easily get 14 against Denver.
He could get more than 14. That could be a high scoring one.
Yep.
I'm trading out Duke Johnson as quick as possible, so he won't be there.
I'm curious to see what happens with James Conner against San Francisco based on the fact that they just blew out Cincinnati and Pittsburgh's down a quarterback.
But they do have a good run defense.
Well, I just realized what that sound was. Someone was killing me in World of Warcraft. It's like, why does it sound like people are fighting? Yeah, Rodgers on the bench. I mean, Wentz versus Detroit. I wouldn't sleep on that.
Let's just say that some of these are not going to be there come Sunday or come Thursday.
That's probably the only move I would really make, though, in terms of his lineup.
In terms of his?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I would play. Baltimore's throwing the ball all over the place.
Okay, but here's the thing is, Dallas is going to get way more than 13 points for defense. Against Miami?
Well, you're talking about your team. I'm still looking at these. Probably. But I wouldn't ever count on a defense getting a crap ton of points, especially a week after an offense got shut out. Because they're going to do anything
a big game
to score.
And then we got about to go back to work, but let me go ahead and get into the next two.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, Denver's not the team they used to be. They're not the no-fly zone, especially with how poor their offense is.
So this game, we got the Luau versus Balls. He's going to obviously probably have Dak Prescott against Miami. I don't know what he's going to do for another wide receiver. Let's see what he's got. He's got Jarvis Landry. Deshaun Jackson's doubtful to return, which I don't think he will, so he's going to have to find another wide receiver too. But he does have Sammy Watkins, and he also has LaShawn McCoy to replace Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, if he bumps Watkins up, although Watkins didn't do a whole lot this week, even with Tyreek Hill out, so that first week could have been semi-fluke.
I'm going to say Luau has an advantage over him right now that I see, depending on what his moves are during the week. Brian could tie it up.
Yeah, I'm going to say if he gets Dak out of this trade, then he's got enough to take down the Luau. We got to see what's Andrew got in terms of a flex on his bench because Gallup is probably not. I don't think Gallup's playing.
Gallup's not going to play. So he's got Ross. Ross is a beast.
I would definitely play John Ross because he can outrun pretty much anyone.
So he's got Henry too, but Henry I think is out as well. There's a lot of injured players in our league right now.
It's usually how it goes over the first few weeks.
All right.
We're just talking about next week, JJ.
We got Peyton's Pop Planet versus James from Pop Couple. Once again, she looks really good. So does he. This is going to be a close game.
So, T.Y. Hilton against Atlanta. Atlanta did pretty well against not just stopping the wide receivers for Philly, but kind of hurting them. So I'd be concerned about T.Y. putting up anything significant. Saquon Barkley against Tampa Bay. I have no idea if Tampa Bay's defense is for real.
They did really good against Carolina. Let's just say that. They doubled up the right people.
Carolina, though, I feel like they're one of those teams that could play with anybody and lose to anybody.
That's exactly my feeling about him, too.
So, and then he's got Amari Cooper going against Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know that Amari Cooper is going to get 10 targets just because the Cowboys are going to be able to run all over Miami.
Cooper Kupp versus Cleveland, they didn't really get thrown on a lot. So, I don't know.
Well, I mean, 11 points, I could see that. Kupp gets a decent amount of targets. Has Saquon been hitting his projections? Yes, he has.
Yes.
He had a good week against the Cowboys. He was like the only bright spot. He's been the only bright spot for the Giants both weeks, really.
She doesn't really have a backup besides her Montgomery. James, I could say play Arizona or play Larry Fitzgerald in the slot.
Curtis Samuel might be worth a look here, and I would just avoid Peterson against Chicago. Curtis Samuel against Atlanta, I would probably give a look to see if I needed some help anywhere. Probably say you're playing Hollywood Brown. Who's her other wide receivers?
Yeah. Her other wide receivers are Schuster and Hopkins. She's got a squad.
I would probably sit Schuster, to be honest, and play Curtis Samuel.
Because you don't know what's going to happen?
Exactly. I mean, not only did San Francisco blow out Cincinnati this week, but you've got a backup quarterback in there to a receiver who likes to go deep and requires accuracy over the middle. I would much rather go with Curtis Samuel and Cam Newton than I would with I can't even think of his name, the backup QB for Roethlisberger and Schuster.
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, Rudolph.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. Let's go with 2Ps versus you.
Oh, jeez. I don't know that there's any saving me here. My projection.
You have a squad. It's just they're not performing. Like, if you left your squad the way it is.
I haven't messed with it either week except to put Robinson in for Hill when he got hurt.
I would, honestly, if I were you, I would pick up a different kicker.
That's probably a good point, actually. I like that. I'll have to see what's out there in terms of teams that can actually put up some points.
If Kenyon Drake, because Kenyon Drake's being talked into trade talk, so he might go to a decent team. So I would hold on to him. I wouldn't get rid of him.
I like Drake. I also like Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard's not going to get anything on Philly, though.
No.
And
Miles Sanders is their guy now.
Marvin Jones, I don't know what to do with Marvin Jones. He has big play potential, but he just doesn't – I don't think he gets the targets with Golden Tate there.
Honestly, I would just leave your team except for your kicker.
That's a good point. I'll probably pick up somebody else for the kicker. See if I can find somebody who can –
He's got a killer squad right now.
Yeah. If his running backs perform, I'm going to lose.
He's got Stephon Diggs, Julio Jones. Oh my gosh, it's like an all-star.
McCaffrey and Todd Gurley.
Yeah. So.
And everyone's healthy over there.
They all are healthy. All right, finally we got Tim versus Funko Nerd Stark.
You are right, JJ. Galladay is who I was thinking of. Sorry.
I got Galladay.
Yeah. Amendola is the slot receiver that replaced Tate, and then Galladay was the guy who's getting the targets that I was thinking of. It's hard to remember who's on the Giants, even when you're in the NFC East.
Yeah. Yeah. This one, this is the one where somebody's got to lose finally.
I'm going to say it's probably going to be Tim. OJ Howard, even though I liked what he was doing last year, the numbers don't seem like they're there this year. You got Henry going against Jacksonville. I don't think they're...
OJ Howard is not catching anything.
He's got some rough matchups too. Like Michael Thomas doesn't have Breeze throwing to him anymore. Yeah, see there.
I wouldn't play golf against Cleveland.
What's he got instead for a quarterback? Garoppolo? I mean, who the hell knows? Garoppolo could go off. He threw 3 touchdowns last week or last Sunday.
He's got Calvin Ridley against. I mean, his team looks good. I would trade out Calvin Ridley and Tyler Lockett though, because New Orleans got a strong pass defense, and that's the only thing I can see on his team.
This is going to sound, that Eckler guy. That Eckler guy has been blowing people out in fantasy.
Yeah, he's killing it.
I would actually start to think about playing Josh Gordon instead of Michael Thomas.
Yes.
Definitely consider flexing James White or Josh Gordon this week.
I would too. I'd consider flexing Josh Gordon. I would also put, like I said earlier, I would put Calvin Ridley in instead of Tyler Lockett because New Orleans is going to kill Tyler Lockett on speed.
The New Orleans secondary, I like what they're doing over there. Woods is going to get his catches regardless of who they're playing.
Other than that, I've got to get back to work.
Good God, whose team is on the right? Sorry, whose team is on the right there?
Huh?
Whose team was on the right there?
Funko Nerd Starks.
Good guys, running backs.
I know.
Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott, and Austin Eckler. Holy crap.
And then he's got Mac.
Yeah, he's Marlon Mack sitting on the bench.
I know, man. I need to trade him.
That's bananas.
Thank you, Sean, for coming on. I hope you actually have a win this week. 2 pieces is a strong contestant for you.
Yeah, I mean I'm not ready to cash in yet this season, but it's getting close.
It's looking bad.
It's not looking good, no.
I mean, like I said, I have my sleeper picks for the week. I got if you can pick up Washington from Pittsburgh, he would be a good pickup for you. But I think that your team's good right now, that you just need that kicker replaced.
The biggest thing I'm worried about is, I'll definitely flip the kicker, but I'm severely worried about nagging injuries on my team. Like when Tyreek Hill comes back, is he going to be Tyreek Hill? Is Joe Mixon ever going to be healthy this season? Or am I just going to keep wanting them to be healthy and they're going to put up 4 or 5 points each week? So
I agree completely. Thomas going to be fun. I don't think Bridgewater is as good passer as any quarterback in the league right now.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see. He's been a starter before, so it shouldn't be scary.
I know he needs to hand it to Kamara.
I mean, if he can dump it off to Kamara, they'll be fine. He was missing him last week, too.
Dying over here. Anyway, I appreciate you coming on and doing this little 30-minute get together.
Yep, thank you for having me. This is the warm up because I got the mystery box battle later tonight.
Oh, that's right. You going to come on next week with me and Brian?
Sure.
All right.
I'll come back. As long as I'm
I need Kamara to do something, man. He's killing me. You see that?
Well, he's going to be difficult to use because Breeze is his quarterback. It's the same thing with Thompson. Those little touch receiver running backs, they need an accurate quarterback to throw them the ball so that they can hit it in stride.
Just pitch it to him.
Yeah, but they're not normal running backs. They're wide receivers playing running back.
Yeah, I know. All right, man. I appreciate you jumping on here. I'm going to say thank you guys for watching. If you're not checking out Sean Ryan, probably all of you are. Go check out Sean Ryan. He's got a great channel. He does some really cool mystery boxes. If you're watching this later and you're not subscribed to me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. I do all sorts of things, fantasy football talk. I'm a mixture of a bunch of stuff. I'm just a nerd. So thank you guys for watching. I got to say it. Sean Ryan, you got anything to say before I close it out?
No, go ahead, man. Thank you for having me.
As always, happy hunting because it's worth it. I got to get. Peace out.